There we go. Welcome everyone to Sysco Canada's Influencer Fridays. I'm your host, Jay Ashton, and we have Chef Jesse in the house. Chef Jesse, welcome back. Little influencing
Jay,
day.
good morning, man. How you doing?
I'm doing, you know what? It's a great day when we talk about meatballs. Any day, any Friday. I'm excited.
I'm just sad we don't do this on Mondays. Like, how great would it be to start my week with meatballs in the morning?
Yeah, you know what? And these are Sysco Arrezzio meatballs. And I tell you, I'm just excited to hear what you think of them, what your thoughts are of them, and really do a good old product review today. And thank you. And I can't wait.
Yeah, of course, me there. I was reading some of the information sent over by the team there, and just some of the ingredients and stuff that are listed in terms of the quality cheeses and meats that are in here. I got to say, I'm really excited. It's going to be a good Friday.
Awesome. Well, let's get started.
All right. So we've got four kinds that we're going to try today. They're in the half ounce and 1 ounce varieties. So we've got our just good old regular beef meatballs. We've got beef and cheese. The cheese is Romano and ricotta. So like really, really quality cheeses there. We've also got chicken and beef for those who like to add in that chicken. And then we've got a gluten-free option. So really well
Awesome.
rounded. But
I got
we'll,
lots of questions on that chicken and beef one.
oh, don't you
I
worry. I
got
got
like,
lots of
I don't
time.
know if you can answer them all.
I'll do my best.
Okay, so what's
Um,
this one?
So we're just going to start with beef. I feel like that's a
Okay.
great place to start. A couple of
Okay,
things I'm going
so
to look.
just the one thing I just want to jump in there. Sorry, Jesse. This is what you
Oh, it's
get with
okay.
Jay now. Is interruption. Sorry. The one thing I want to just so we're gonna rate these, right? We're gonna rate these good, great, or wow. And we're gonna be honest, right? Like if they're not we're gonna tell you. But so hopefully we see a little bit of wows today in this area.
You know what? It's a good start as far as what I'm seeing. So I have high hopes, but yeah, we're going to be super honest, right? At the end of the day, it's we're putting our name on this, so we want to make sure we've got good stuff, and we want to make sure our fellow chefs are getting great products as well, right? So,
Excellent.
um,
Let's get
so
into this.
after you stop interrupting me, Jay, a couple of things I'm gonna look for immediately is
Is that how it's gonna be, Jesse, all day?
maybe, I don't know, depends.
All
Depends how
right.
you play your cards, right?
All right.
So a couple things I'm looking for. I'm just squeezing a little bit. And I don't know if you can kind of see this on camera, but like juices, tons of juices. So it's not going to be dry. That's I feel like one of the biggest enemies for a meatball, especially a product that's kind of ready to roll. And then I'm also just looking to see what the inside looks like in terms of ingredients, right? So I can actually see some green in here, right? So we've got herbs, and you can kind of make out all the different ingredients. Other cool thing is on the box, when I was looking at the product when it came in, I think there was like 7 ingredients. And it's like always a good sign for me when there's just few ingredients and I know what they all mean because, I'm not a rocket scientist.
So what's this one? This is the beef, right? All beef.
Yeah, all beef.
All right.
Um,
So I got the
I,
code up there, right? And the other thing I forgot to see, I'm forgetting all these things. I've been so old. First of all, please, all the viewers that are watching this, subscribe and follow us on YouTube and on Facebook. Please subscribe. It's very important. And apparently, if you say that word, subscribe, Jesse, you get better ratings, just so you know.
sorry, Jay, you say subscribe? Is that the word that I'm
Yeah,
supposed to say?
that's the word. That's the fancy word today.
Perfect. So these are great.
Okay.
back to,
These are
back to the
great. You're going to
product.
give it a
Yeah,
great?
I am. I am.
Okay.
Again, they're juicy. The ingredients, like there's flavor to them. They're not bland. There's a little bit of not spice, but you can just tell it's not just some beef rolled together, cooked and sent out. The other thing I didn't mention is they are pre-cooked. So there's lots of different options in terms of what you can do with them or how easy they
Mm-hmm.
are to get out to your guests or your customers. But immediately, like besides your obvious pasta dishes, I was thinking like meatball sub or something like that. I think they're great size for that.
Yeah, and I think
Uh,
that's the thing is that we know that this isn't that big meatball that's going to be on the plate,
mhm.
at the little Italian restaurant. This is going to be for sandwiches and other options that are out there, right?
Yeah,
Soup?
100%.
Would you put that in soup?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I just had the 1 ounce size there. That's the regular
Yeah.
beef, and then a couple of other options are the half ounce size. I would probably go with the half ounce size,
Oh, yeah, that'd
depending
be
on the
good for
soup.
soup, eh?
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
All right. So let's get into the beef and cheese next.
Okay, so this is just wait. I got to put this up here. No cheese,
Sorry.
cheese,
A little
beef
slow
cheese.
on Fridays, Jay?
A little slow today, folks. I don't know if I have the code for the beef and cheese. I have the no cheese ones. Maybe that was the cheese one.
Yeah, that was probably it.
Yeah. So I'll put that back up there. Sorry, folks. The other one I'll throw up here. This is the one that Jesse just tried. That one right there. That was the no cheese. Now you're going to the cheese one.
Yes, you betcha.
Right? So this is the cheese one right there. Bam. So
Perfect.
as Jesse stares at that meatball, what do you think? Oh, he's going to like this one. I'm going to go for a bigger rating here.
How do you not like something that has cheese in it?
I know.
That's my mantra, my life philosophy, but it's basically the same feedback I had on the beef one, or the no cheese one, sorry. But you can taste the cheese. Like, believe it or not, you can taste the cheese. And if they're putting enough ricotta and Romano cheese in there that you can taste it, like, that's good in my book. So I've got a tray of them here that I cooked off this morning, and as soon as we get off air, I'm going to be eating the whole thing, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be a wow for me. I think that's going to be.
Is that a wow?
It is. I think it. I don't want to speak too soon, but that might be my favorite out of the four. So.
Holy.
Hey, it's Friday, right?
You just threw that out like that, eh?
It was that good. I don't know.
Is that good? Let me just pull that back down. Okay, so where are we going next?
So we're going chicken and beef. This is.
So Jesse, I got to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think the first meatball was invented?
Oh.
Yeah. Didn't think that was coming, eh?
No, gotta be honest. It's a little early for questions like that, Jay. I guess I shouldn't have made fun of you too much.
Well, yeah, hey, I got Google here, buddy.
How about the 1500s?
It says Qin Dynasty 221 BC.
That was the other option I was contemplating.
Like, how can you not have that on a menu? It's been around that long? It's solid.
We talk about classics, but I think that takes it to a whole nother level.
That's a whole new world, eh? You didn't see that coming, though, eh? You woke up this morning and is like, I don't know if I'm going to have a history lesson from meatballs.
Well, for someone who's not normally on something like this, the things I think about before the show are, is my camera working? Do I have audio? Is the lighting good? Is the kitchen clean? But now I'm going to have to do some social studies. So thank you for that, Jay.
No worries. Let's get into this one. So what's this next one?
Chicken and beef, man.
Chicken and beef. Okay, I got to ask.
Yeah.
Because you're a chef. Why do we put those two together?
Good question. The chicken, I think, is really good at keeping it together in terms of just the structure of the meatball. And it's just a less beefy flavor. So what I'm expecting, having not tasted these before, is a little bit more of like a mild meat flavor and more of a presence of like the herbs and spices that are mixed in.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounded really smart.
Well, I bombed the last question, so I had to figure it out on this one. But another cool thing I just wanted to mention, I didn't mention it, but the texture on the outside is great. It's not
nice. Mushy?
Yeah, I just don't feel like I'm eating a pre-prepared item, and that's always really important to me and for guest perception, right? So again, really moist. These are the half-ounce size, so like I said, I think they'd be great for like soup, stuff like that. Let's get into it.
All right, here we go. Now, everyone knows that you don't eat these before. There's no bite policy. We have a no bite policy here at Influencer Fridays.
Not allowed, and sometimes it is hard to do.
I can imagine.
Now I get to binge on meatballs after this because they were kind enough to send me a nice amount. So,
awesome.
Yeah, just as I expected. Like, I really taste like the herbs and the spices and everything in there. Very subtle, meat flavors. It's not overpowering in terms of like that beef flavor. So if you're looking for something that you love the idea, you love the shape, the consistency, the majority of those things, but you don't want it to overpower some other ingredients in your dish.
Mm-hmm.
The chicken and beef option is always a great option, in my opinion.
No chemical taste?
No, none. Not
Okay,
at
cool.
all.
People need to know that because there's meatballs out there. You eat it, it's like, whoa.
Really?
There's a little
Well,
bit, yeah, yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad that's not how we're starting our Friday. But no, these are awesome, man. Like I have to go to the restaurant after this, and I'm definitely taking some with me. So
Exactly. So you know what, Jesse? I got to tell you something about Arrezzio because that's one of Sysco's brands, and I think it's important
mhm.
that everyone knows what the heck Arrezzio is. So it's inspired. We brought this product brand in here a while ago, a long time ago, and it offers a fine Italian inspired products that provides the utmost consistency and performance. And I think that's important as people understand that is this meatball is going to be always the same meatball every time you get that meatball. And it's awesome that you're giving these ratings like this because it's something that we're inspired by this brand and to make sure the consistency and the product quality is at the top most.
Yeah,
Because you need to impress the Italians out there too, right?
well, 100%, right? Like especially if that's the sort of establishment that we're gonna have these at. It's all about making it as close to authentic as possible. And I wasn't aware. I guess I didn't do my homework enough that it was a Sysco brand. But I gotta say, having I don't work for Sysco, but I gotta say I was impressed also when I opened the case, looked in the bag, and you're absolutely right. Like every meatball I've cut into so far, very consistent in those base qualities in terms of like texture and being juicy and all that good stuff. But they looked like artisan meatballs in the bag.
Yeah,
So
there we go.
you talk about consistency, and that's different from them looking like carbon copies.
Yeah.
They looked hand rolled and in a good way. So
We
that was
actually
cool to see.
have this old Italian lady that hand rolls them in the factory. Just
Oh,
saying.
that's where my Nona is. I've been looking
That's
for
where
her.
Nona is. Exactly. So,
Unbelievable.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
all
That's
right.
why they're so good. They're so good. Anyways, on to the next one.
Unbelievable.
It's
We've
like two
got
hours later, we'll be still trying to eat that one little meatball in front of you.
hey, well, we
Is
we
that
got to get
knife
to
big
our
enough? Do you think you're going to be able to cut through with that knife?
man, you're giving me the gears today, hey?
That is awesome.
So last option, we got to get to the gluten-free, right? Like this is a huge
Okay,
part of
now
our industry
gluten
right now.
free typically is, right?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
we have to admit it, gluten free products, they're impressed and they've come a long way. I'll definitely give it that. We've got amazing gluten free products here at Cisco as well, but it is something that I know that typically people go about, and I think you should
Hmm.
look at gluten free products because they're pretty impressive nowadays of what they can do.
Yeah. And I want to go back to reading the ingredients because when you go to a gluten-free or let's say a protein substitute, like any
Mm-hmm.
sort of those kind of newer food aspects,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to see products you can't pronounce. You're going to see way more ingredients, all that sort of stuff. And again, like these stayed true to the other offerings in terms of it was like 7 ingredients, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. And the structure is a really good sign for me as well because one of the key ingredients when we're making meatballs is usually like a breadcrumb
Yeah.
to hold it all together. And these are perfectly formed, just like the other ones, but obviously no breadcrumbs. So
Now the other thing, just before you eat that meatball, I want to
not hungry
point
or anything.
out. Well, it's just that you mentioned it. And I think it's important that yes, Jesse doesn't work for Cisco, and that's what's so great about Influencer Fridays is that you're not gonna say stuff because you work for Cisco. Like it's an unbiased opinion. So that's what makes our show so great. And anyways, I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I know. You're totally right. Cool. It's a cool
Yeah.
aspect for sure.
It's like
May I?
we don't pay you to say this.
I don't even get to eat when I want.
Exactly. Can you eat that meatball?
All right, let's dive in here.
Could you just be quiet, Jay? I don't know. There's just something about watching a guy eat a meatball just doesn't do it for me.
No, hey. Okay,
No.
well, maybe next week we'll see what we get.
Okay. So
Uh,
what are we thinking here? Gluten
uh,
free, half ounce.
I'm
No
happy with
cheese.
it. No,
Yeah.
no,
Can you
you
tell?
know, no, no chemical
Wow.
taste. Not at all.
Nothing.
I think I'd have to look at the box. I think maybe some of the spices are different, but it's just packed with flavor. Maybe it's the
No
size of
way.
how much. Yeah, there's no nothing. And trust me, I've tried a ton of alternative
Yeah.
protein stuff, gluten-free stuff.
Yeah.
Not just on the show, but like in my day to day, right? It's a huge part of our industry right now, and making sure that we have stuff for every guest, and not just having it for them, but making sure it's good. Um, and I can't tell, honestly, can't tell.
That's awesome. And that's important when you look at it because gluten-free typically is a tough one to win on, right?
Hmm.
So what are you going to give this one? What are you going to give this one, Jesse? Wish I had a drum roll.
I wish I did too, but I got to go wow, to be honest with you.
Gotta go wow.
And yeah,
Okay,
and again,
that's huge.
it just goes back to, I guess, expectations of a product like that, what you're used to having or what you've tried before, and it's if I got that in a restaurant, in my sandwich, whatever, be a happy camper, and I would never even ask.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's
that's
amazing.
no sauce, no seasoning. Like these
Nothing.
went in the oven, came out, and now some of them are in my belly, and there was nothing added. So,
Now, well, you won't be bloating today because of gluten-free.
well, Jay, I also have three other kinds of meatballs, and I'm going to eat all of them. So we're not off to a good start. But
Not off to good. This is a great breakfast, by the way. You should cook some eggs. You should add some eggs
yeah,
with your
yeah.
meatballs. Anyways, but no, this is awesome, Jesse, and thank you again. So what do we get? Let's go back over it again one more time. So the non-cheese meatball was the first one?
Yes, that was the
Okay,
1 ounce
so that's the
size.
no cheese meatball. So right here, folks, that's the code. That's the item. Great for soups, great for sandwiches, great for subs. Jesse, I think you gave it a wow, right? Or did you? No, you gave this one a great.
Great. Yeah.
This was a great. Then we went to the meatballs that has cheese in them. This is the one you were floored by because you could taste the cheese.
Yeah.
There's the code, folks. Go out and grab some for your restaurant. And then this one you gave it a wow. I remember that, right?
Yeah.
Then we went to the beef and chicken. Who puts those two together? But apparently it works. That's the code. And what did you give this one? This was a wow?
I think that was a great.
This is a great? Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 greats, 2 wows. And then lastly was the wow for the gluten-free. Not going to make you puffy.
Mm-hmm.
No cheese, no breadcrumbs. There's a code, folks. You got to have gluten-free things on your menu anyways, right?
You have to. You just
have
can't get
to.
around it. Yeah.
Can't get around it, right? Plant-based, gluten-free, all that stuff, you have to have it. If you want to sell to the millennials that apparently eat out more than anyone out there, right?
True.
Eat out a
Very
lot
true.
too, right, Jesse? Eat out a lot. You're a millennial.
When I have time.
In that restaurant? Come on, man.
Does this count as eating out?
I think this is kind of eating out.
It's kind of a nice little thing. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, folks, we'll be back again next Friday. We got 2 more Influencer Fridays coming up. I think we got like desserts coming up and that kind of fun stuff. So hopefully we can have some more fun with Jesse. But thanks again, Jesse, and everyone else. Make sure you subscribe, follow us. We have our podcast now also up on Spotify, on SVK Network, and you can listen to this later on today as well. But please enjoy and get out there, buy some meatballs, enjoy these great meatballs we have at Sysco Arrezzio brand. And thanks again, Jesse. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too, Jay. Thanks.